TiPS, Today in Public Safety, your go-to podcast for today's breaking stories and public safety news. Here's your host, Fletch, with today's TiPS.
This is TiPS, episode 260826, SWATTING, always treated as real, verify in parallel, never in place of response. Hey everyone, it's Fletch. Welcome to Wednesday in this edition of TiPS, Today in Public Safety. On Monday, we talked about reducing unnecessary exposure and building that verified callback path. Today, we'll talk about the report arriving, claiming a shooting, hostages, a bomb, or another immediate threat, and how the caller may sound, either calm or terrified. The number that you see may appear to be local. The story will contain names and details easily taken from the internet. And at that first moment, we don't have the luxury of deciding if that call feels fake. The National 911 Program's swatting guidance says these calls can't initially be differentiated from real incidents and must be processed under normal emergency procedures. Now, that principle protects the school, the public, and the telecommunicator. Every hoax begins as an emergency. Now, the call taker should follow the approved protocol for the reported incident. Capture the exact address and location, the caller's specific words, what's happening right now, and who may be at risk. Collect what the caller can see and hear right now, and any other information required by your local policy. Be sure to keep the caller engaged and safe when operationally appropriate. Document the details, the timing, changes in the account, as well as background information and the route by which the report arrived. Now, while tempting, don't use caller ID, automatic location, voice, text, TTY, relay service, email, or even social media as a single proof of identity. Now, these are all valuable data points and potential evidence to capture, but remember that they can be easily spoofed, relayed, compromised, and geographically separated from the targeted location. Now, dispatch the response required by the reported facts and the local SOP. And it's appropriate to share a swatting indicator with supervisors and responders as potential context, but don't let that fact become a downgrade by itself. Responders need the reported threat, known inconsistencies, verified observations, and a clear statement of what remains unknown. When multiple similar reports arrive for different locations, be sure to open that regional coordination lane early. Notify supervisory, investigative, intelligence, or your fusion center partners as your local plans require. And remember, a coordinated campaign can cross school, PSAP agency, state, and provider boundaries at the same time. But each site still receives the response as facts require. Verify in parallel. Parallel verification means that one lane handles the emergency while another seeks independent facts. It never means telling the caller to wait while someone phones the school. And it never means asking an unverified social media account whether the threat is real. Be sure to use the maintained facility contact and the coordination matrix from Monday, and use that to contact the verified 24-hour school role, school resource officer, campus police, or security desk, utilizing a number that's already on file and not a number supplied by the caller. Be sure to ask for and collect observable facts. Is there evidence of violence? Have alarms or panic systems been activated? Are staff reporting shots, injuries, smoke, or suspicious activity? Do any cameras or access systems show relevant activity? And be sure to identify the on-site administrator. Now, that information is all fed to dispatch and the incident commander as it's confirmed. And remember, a quiet camera doesn't prove the campus is safe, and an unanswered school phone doesn't prove that the threat is real. A principal saying that everything looks normal doesn't clear a large site. And while verification changes the operating picture, it doesn't replace the search, assessment, and command decisions required by the incident. At the school, still activate the emergency plan. Ensure staff follows the protective action order for the observed and reported hazard. Lockdown, evacuation, shelter, reverse evacuation, controlled movement, and reunification are not interchangeable. And remember, the decision belongs to the authorized incident structure utilizing the best available facts, not social media reports, and not based on a generic checklist that's divorced from the scenario. Establishing a unified command. FEMA's school emergency planning guidance uses the incident command system because schools and responders need command roles, one operating picture, and a clear transfer of command structure. The on-scene law enforcement commander controls tactical law enforcement operations. School leadership reports student accountability, family contact, transportation, reunification, continuity, and recovery. Fire, EMS, and emergency management personnel, as well as other partners, join according to the incident. Remember to name your functions early. Incident command, operations, school liaison, communications or public information, student accountability, reunification, medical support, logistics, and documentation. And remember, one person may cover several functions at first, but the important point is that the work gets assigned, and information has an owner, and contradictory instructions never compete for attention. Now, the Workbook Incident Decision Log captures the time of the report, the reported facts, life safety actions, any parallel verification events, responder observations, command decisions, public messages, any evidence holds, and the authority for the all clear. Now, it's not a substitute for CAD or agency records. Its purpose is the school's operational record of why it acted. Be sure to give responders campus terminology that matches the map and campus signage. Be sure to verify building names, entrances, floors, wings, as well as athletic fields and temporary classrooms, as well as any duplicate street addresses. And be sure to assign a school liaison who can answer those questions without stepping into the tactical area. Protect the scene and the signal. Swatting typically aims at confusion. Communications discipline is a protective tool. Be sure to establish a single source of public information and immediately publish a short holding statement. The school is responding with law enforcement, protective actions are in effect, and families should avoid the scene. Any updates will come through named official channels. Never announce that the incident is a hoax before the incident command has established that conclusion. Be sure to correct false information without repeating dramatic claims in unnecessary detail, and never repost the original threat. Preserve that original content, the link, the account name, date, time, and any message data for investigators. Make sure students, families, and staff all know where to send any new evidence and which channel carries official instructions. Use a PACE communications plan: primary, alternate, contingency, and emergency. Each level should use a meaningful different path. An email, text, and a social media app, all on the same cellular data connection, are not three independent backups. Be sure to practice moving between methods, and don't forget accessible communications for people with disabilities and families who may need language assistance. Be sure to protect your operational information and never publish live responder locations, tactical movements, camera views, or student accountability gaps, or any of the private callback numbers created for verification. And remember to coordinate all public communications through the incident's public information function and local joint information procedures. Wednesday's homework assignment. In the workbook, complete the coordination matrix for one representative campus. Then use the incident decision log to walk through the first 20 minutes of a swatting report. Identify who dispatches, who independently calls the school, who activates the EOP, who commands on scene, and who accounts for students, who issues the first public message, and who begins the evidence preservation. Test the PACE ladder and record every shared dependency. And remember, if the alternate method fails with the same network as the primary, it's not an alternate network. And if the verified school number is not answered after hours, then it's not a verified path. The operating rule is actually simple. Treat the report as real, verify it in parallel, and let the facts move the response. Remember to join us on Friday this week as we exercise the plan, preserve the trail, and close the loop. This is Fletch, and you've been listening to TiPS Today in Public Safety. We'll catch you Friday. Take care. Hey, it's Fletch. Thanks so much for joining me today. I really hope you learned something new. Please remember to like and subscribe so you'll be notified of all of our new episodes. TiPS publishes 3 times each week on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday mornings at 8 a.m. Eastern. You can also listen to or read my blogs and other long-form content at fletch.tv, and my professional website with all my contact information is at fletch911.com. Once again, thanks so much for spending some time with me, and if you're in public safety, as always, thanks for what you do every single day. We'll catch you later. Take care.
You've been listening to TiPS, Today in Public Safety, your go-to podcast for today's breaking stories and public safety news. Hosted by Fletch and available every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Catch past episodes on 911tips.com. I am Spider Harrison, the official 911 voiceover dude. No small animals were harmed in the making of this podcast. However, it may contain peanuts or peanuts may have been used in its production. This content is void where prohibited or expressly forbidden by law. And by the way, I said peanuts.